right, it's this epic disaster. I started it right on. I didn't even ask you.
Oh,
Just
hi.
started it. This epic disaster.
You scared me a little bit, actually.
This.
Epic.
Epic disaster.
Disaster.
As opposed to all the other ones.
Right.
All right, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Should we start over?
No.
Okay.
I'm all right.
Just
fine.
keep going.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
What's
up first?
Live beer review.
Okay.
So, as you know, we do a live beer review. Now, I have a prediction based on our live beer review. You're going to have to explain what the live beer review is, as you will, and then, in a few minutes, I have a groundbreaking prediction, psychic prediction that's going to happen live on this show.
Well, let me tell you what we're drinking first. This is a beer by Wild Leap Craft Beer.
We haven't had Wild Leap in a long time.
I can't remember ever having Wild Leap.
Yeah, like it may even have been the last podcast.
Interesting. Okay. This one is called Lemonade, but it's LMN-ade.
You know what I always think about with when someone says lemonade?
That cool, refreshing drink?
Yeah, Eddie Murphy.
Yes, me
when he's
too.
doing Elvis.
Lemonade.
Lemonade.
Yes.
That cool, refreshing.
I the same exact thing goes through my head
like,
every
hey, Elvis,
time.
you want some lemonade? It was like, so the bit is in those movies with Elvis, any kind of line, he would just turn into a song.
There's also a line from, I think it's also from Delirious, whenever I have ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
I got some ice cream. Yes.
That's the very first, isn't that the very first album?
Delirious?
Yeah. No, the very first album is just Eddie Murphy.
No, that's from that. Well, he performed that bit in Delirious.
Okay.
And I always remember what one it's in, either Delirious or Raw, based on I can picture him and I can picture what color outfit he's wearing.
Okay.
It's weird.
Yeah, well, the Raw, he was like Prince. He
Yeah.
just kind of went a little overboard.
He a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are having
And like we did.
Lemonade
Just now.
Sour Ale by Wild Leap Craft Beer. It is 5.5% alcohol by volume, which a lot of sours are right about that.
Okay.
Here it says Lemonade is a sour ale with Meyer lemon, vanilla bean, and milk sugar.
Vanilla bean in lemonade?
Yeah.
Vanilla bean. Stop that.
Yeah. This beer contains lactose and
Okay.
is fermented with Meyer lemon.
Well, it doesn't smell like what I
Puree.
thought it was going to smell like.
And
Doesn't
then
smell like lemons at
Here
all.
here is a quote from someone named, and if this is somebody, popular or important or like somebody I should know, I'm sorry. I'm really bad with names. But it says it's by Radrick Davis. Do you know who Radrick Davis is? Radrick D. Davis?
Not offhand, I don't.
Okay, it says, I like them Georgia peaches,
Oh.
but you look more like a lemon. That's the quote.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll have to
What
look
if
that
it's
one
a
up.
movie character or something? I don't know.
All right, so you
So
smell, it's pretty.
It kind of looks a little lemonade-ish, but it doesn't smell like lemon. I thought it was going to really smell like lemon.
It actually looks a little pink.
Little what? Pink? Maybe it's pink lemonade. No, mine doesn't.
No, maybe it was the lighting. It was just the lighting. So taste it. Let me know what you think. I just poured mine. That was an interesting face.
Okay.
It doesn't smell like lemonade at all.
It doesn't. An interest because we've had a lot of sours on the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird little flavor there.
There's definitely lemon in it. It got me right in the back of the jaw.
It starts like it's going to be lemonade, and then it kind of changes in mid-flavor. But the weird thing is, it doesn't do what most sours have done on the show. It's not mega sour, but it's tart enough to where it does.
It's definitely tart enough to get you where you want to rub on your jawbone. I'm okay.
Rub on your jawbone.
My initial reaction is I do like it. I also like rubbing on my jawbone.
Okay.
But we'll see at the end of the show what we think.
Okay.
After we've had an opportunity to drink it.
Now, I wasn't sure we would be doing a show today.
Right.
We usually record, or we try to record on Tuesdays of the week.
Correct. That's
That way we have enough time to kind of edit and do all the stuff. And especially now that I'm working full time, I want to make sure that I'll put all the podcasts together. Mm-hmm. You couldn't.
I couldn't. No, not this week.
We thought for a little while you might have had the COVID.
Well, I thought so because I had quite a fever and
You're giving me fever.
severe
Lemonade.
severe stomach upset, like severe, like surreal. Like, you ever been in so much pain, and especially it's in the middle of the fucking night, and you're in so much pain, it's like time doesn't move the same way it moves normally. It's like that surreal feeling where you're actually considering going to the hospital, but you don't want to move.
Well, I spent several months with my knee in like a really bad, and it's not gotten better. I mean, all this whole entire year, my knee has been bad. And so it still wakes me up. It still keeps me awake at night.
Yeah.
So I guess I got to get used to it because it's,
Or try some different treatments.
Well, I went through physical therapy. I've been through, I don't know, whatever they do. It helped a little bit, but and it's definitely not as bad. So I tore my meniscus.
Yeah. Did you ever get the cortisone shot in the knee?
No, I'm not going to do that.
It hurts like hell.
That's why I'm not going to do that.
I tell you what, he was like, this is the palliative care before we even do an MRI.
No, I'm not gonna
like
do
my knee was remember when it was visually swollen before I had my surgery?
When you had a big spider bite?
No, this is more recent than that.
Like gangrene or something? What was that?
That was
leprosy?
That was years ago.
That was awful.
Yeah, they almost had to take my leg. Yeah. But in this one, my knee was just super swollen, and he could tell there was definitely something wrong with it. And we did some x-rays, but my insurance wouldn't pay for an MRI until you did some palliative care. Which,
weird.
Yeah, which is silly. But what he did do is he's like, I'm going to go ahead and give you a cortisone shot today. And I was like, all right. You're sitting up on the table in the doctor's office. And I was wearing a dress, so I didn't have to change into the little gown or anything. And he just pulls out this little thing to give a shot. And it has this little tube on it that sprays like a freeze spray to kind of numb the area. Ooh. And I'll tell you what, it didn't fucking work. He stuck that needle, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to stand up and show you.
No, I don't. That's
right there. Right under the kneecap.
No.
Stuck it in there and then pushed the cortisone in.
Mommy, no.
And I was like, making the owie sounds. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry. What are you, a wuss or something?
Like that.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, it helped. Oh, my God. Almost instantly.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
But I don't know. If I was asleep, I don't want to go through the pain.
It hurts for that long. You can do anything for that long.
No, I can't.
So anyways, yes, you are correct. I was sick with some symptoms that might or might not have talked about or pointed towards COVID.
You've had some COVID scares quite a few times. We thought you might have it, and then you took a test, and it's like, nope.
Yeah. And this one was actual fever that lasted for multiple days. And I had a dry kind of sore throat and some coughing and then all that severe stomach upset. Now, I have been fully vaccinated. It doesn't mean you can't get
right. A lot
sick.
of people are doing that now with the Delta variant.
Yeah, you can still get sick. It's just the vaccination will hopefully make it less severe. But I did go in and get a test, and she said it's likely it's just something viral because they did the instant test, and it was like, nope, you don't have it.
I want the Epsilon variant, maybe the Sigma. I think I'll go with the Epsilon.
What about the Psi variant?
The what?
Psi?
That's way down there. So they did have an alpha and a beta. I don't know if they had a gamma, probably delta. But I want to be Epsilon. I want the Epsilon. It was like, sorry, you died. He died from the Epsilon variant.
I don't want you to die from any variant.
I do.
Stop
you
it.
just reminded me, that girl, you looked exactly like that girl again.
What girl?
Remember that girl I saw on Facebook? No, she died too, which is not cool. So there was a girl in the news. She was British. She went hiking and she disappeared.
Yeah.
And they found her bones, which is sad.
Yeah.
But they posted a picture of her on Facebook.
Yes.
I mean, on CNN.
And yeah.
It looked exactly like you.
And I posted it on my Facebook, too.
I sent you the picture, and you thought I photoshopped your face in it. I was like, no.
It looked exactly like me, so much so that I couldn't tell it wasn't me.
Right, which freaked me out. And then I looked her up and I saw some pictures, and she doesn't look like you.
Just the way that picture.
Yeah. She's similar to you. She looks like she could be your niece or something like that. But it's so weird when you see pictures because people have sent me pictures They've been like, this looks like you. And you go, oh, wow. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Because I've mentioned this on the show before. I used to do a theater show for some kids. We would do like a traveling kid theater play. It was really silly, stupid stuff. And after it was over, they would take questions from the kids. And it was like, anybody want to ask the actors anything? Every freaking play, at least one kid would ask me if I was the guy from Home Alone. Daniel Stern. Every play.
Really?
And I never really knew that there was a resemblance, and then I started looking at Daniel Stern. I was like, "Oh, okay, I see." What I could do that. I could, and especially at that age,
and from certain angles, I could see that.
I think I was probably in my 30s at the time, and he's a little older than me, but still, I think sort of the same facial structure, and so I could see it, but I never knew that up until then. And when you see that, you see pictures that look very similar to you. It's like, oh wow, that's weird.
That is weird. Yeah, I literally thought you photoshopped my face in there, though. I did.
Laugh,
I was like, why would you do that? Why would you waste your time doing that?
You know what we should do right now? Let's play a little Would You Rather. Now,
okay, but you have a prediction.
I have a psychic prediction. So, now we're not gonna post anything to show, but the cans of this beer are just lemon yellow.
Bright.
Just
Meyer
bright,
lemon yellow.
The entire thing.
Yeah.
So I'm predicting for the first time on the show, well, it won't be the first time that we've both dropped the same color.
No.
But I think it'll be the first time we both dropped yellow. We're both going to do yellow. That's my psychic prediction. Now, here's the thing.
Make it happen. Rub your temples. Close your eyes.
Here's the thing. First of all,
creative visualization.
If I could psychically guess what you're going to drop is one thing. If I can psychically guess what I'm going to drop, that's another thing.
Your trousers.
If I could psychically guess what we're both going to drop, that's another thing. And then if I can narrow it down to even to yellow, I feel like I that will prove to everyone that I'm psychic.
Would you like to know my psychic prediction?
Yes.
Because since you have a special one, I get to have one today, too.
All right, what is yours?
That we're both going to drop a stone.
Well, that's true. Go for it. Should you do it first?
Okay.
Do you want to do it first?
I'll do it first.
All right, so this will tell, because if I blow it now, then I've blown it for both of us.
That's what they said.
What are you doing there? What is that?
What?
That's obscene. You can't, you got to drop them again.
That was a mistake.
Yeah, you dropped two. It wasn't yellow.
It wasn't. Neither one of them was yellow. That's purple. You lose. You lose.
Well, I could still be half psychic if I can.
Half psychic.
All right. Yellow is random. Here we go.
That's not yellow. I dropped a purple one.
Purple is food ingestion. Would you rather? Ooh, the first word is suck. Would you rather suck? Would you rather suck?
Would you rather suck or blow?
Would you rather suck? The white. Oh God. Do I have to read this?
Yes. Do I have to answer it?
Would you rather... Why is this in food and ingestion?
I don't know.
Would you rather suck the white, dried spit off the edges of a speaker's lips after a 2-hour talk?
Oh.
Or suck off the crud that gathers in the corner of a cat's eye? That's disgusting.
I'm going to go with the human.
What? Jeez.
I wouldn't suck off the gunk from anybody's eye.
Or I...
That's just gross.
What do you do after you go to a lecture and then after it's over and everybody's going up and talking to the guy and you're like, excuse me, come here, can I suck your white dried spit?
Wait a second.
Weird.
Why does this speaker who just did a 2-hour lecture have white dried spit in the corner of their mouth?
Some do. I don't know who did that question. That's ridiculous.
Then they should have a glass of water and a napkin.
They shouldn't be speaking.
I agree.
Maybe they're speaking about white dried spit. I don't know. All right, so let's see. I could drop a yellow one here, and I can at least prove I could save myself. Shall I do it?
I hope it's yellow.
Here I
just
go.
read the question. It's green.
Dang it.
So you're not psychic at all.
Well,
that's what that tells me.
There's yellow and green, so
you're a quarter
psychic.
That's ridiculous. All right, so green is ethics and intellect. Would you rather, as a firefighter, not be able to save anyone in a burning house?
Yes, that's my dream.
Yes. Or, in attempting to save an entire family, be forced to make the decision to leave behind the youngest
Oh,
child.
that one for sure.
You get to pick who dies and
Yes.
who lives.
Yes.
That's the one you want.
Well, I like power.
Well, first of all, you would never be a firefighter because you don't even like to think about getting a shot.
What's the scenario there? You're in there and then like the whole place is blazing and the firefighter shows up and then he's like, "Hold on a second. Everyone gets to leave except you, Junior."
No, that's not how it
What kind
works.
of question is that?
Um,
Stupid.
Also, we send condolences to anybody that's ever lost somebody in a fire.
And firefighters. We
And
send our condolences to all firefighters.
All firefighters. You guys are heroes and wonderful, and don't leave behind the youngest child, please.
All right.
But that really,
yeah.
if you're going to leave behind somebody, leave behind the one.
Or leave the oldest, Grandpa.
Leave
he's
Grandpa.
Had a life. Yeah, he's had a full life.
Yeah.
Sure.
I could see that. I could see that. Okay. I'm not going to be leaving any grandpas in fires, but
No grandpas.
I do have some information.
Information.
Yeah.
What?
You know how I do my national days of the week?
Oh, yeah.
Are you ready for those?
Okay.
I'm going to kind of burn through them if you don't mind.
Burn, baby, burn.
Do people still like hearing these?
We asked last week if they don't like it to let us know, and no one let us know. So they
I
love
guess
it.
silence.
They love it.
Silence is the okay to keep going. All right. So this comes out on Monday, August the 2nd. Excuse me. That is National Coloring Book Day.
Oh, nice.
I love coloring books. Do you like coloring books?
Well, I used to. I don't do that anymore.
You make your own coloring books.
I haven't had a coloring book in years. Yeah.
So my sister used to do what they call adult coloring books, like the really intricate. No, not the X-rated coloring books. I've seen those. Those are fun. But these are like the really intricate with the tiny little piece. You got to paint in itty bitty, like a big spiral or a big, what's that called? Not a medallion. Mandala. Yeah, that's it. And she would sit for hours and do those things, and I'm like, that's a little tweakish, but all right. Tuesday is, I'm going to mention 2 days. This is fun. Tuesday is National Georgia Day.
Georgia
on my mind.
That's all I'm going to say of that one.
All right. But you know what else it is?
Do not.
National Grab Some Nuts Day.
What?
National Grab Some Nuts
I
Day.
celebrate that every day.
I mean, if you've got them, grab them.
Well, what do you just like any nuts? Does it matter?
I'm gonna look that up really quick because I just liked the way it sounded.
I'm kind of a nut. I like nuts.
I like nuts too.
So I like. I don't know. I think I like chocolate covered nuts. Okay. So I'm a big fan of the almonds.
Yes.
Chocolate covered almonds I could eat until I really literally throw up.
I think almonds are my least favorite unless they're like slivered up and in something.
You know what you don't find a whole lot of is chocolate covered like walnuts.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
But you find walnuts mostly in fudge, chocolate fudge.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Go
So
figure.
National Grab Some Nuts Day. There are many nut days throughout the year, such as National Almond Day, National Pistachio Day,
I like pistachios.
National Pecan Day. Do you say pecan or pecan?
I say pecan.
Okay. But August 3rd embraces them all. It's National Grab Some Nuts Day. And then it goes on to talk about how defining a nut is difficult.
Well, see now in Georgia, which there's pecans, and so Georgia pecan. So I feel like that should be the nuts that you grab
on Georgia Day.
On Georgia Day,
yeah. Mm-hmm. So it just says to be, think about healthier snacks. That's what the recognition of the day is, and eat a handful of nuts.
Okay.
That's all it's for.
You can't even say the word nuts without giggling.
Balls.
It's not. It's nuts.
It's nuts. Testicles.
You know what I found out today?
What?
Gorillas have really small testicles.
Yeah.
They're like the largest member of the primate family, but they have the smallest testicles. And chimpanzees have really large ones, and it's because gorillas are monogamous and they don't need to spread their seed. So and chimps, they do it with everybody. They're basically whore monkeys, and they're going at it with everybody. So they need to spread their seed to more places.
Everywhere.
Yeah, so they need bigger.
They have to have more seed.
Yeah.
They'll throw their seed in your face.
They'll throw anything in your face. They'll pull your seed off.
They might.
Honestly.
Okay, now we know something about gorillas and chimpanzees that we didn't know earlier.
Yeah.
So, what day is that? Wednesday is National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. Do you like a good chocolate chip cookie?
Yeah, who doesn't?
Like what kind? Like, do you like the soft, gooey, ooey, or do
No.
you like the hard ones?
Hard ones. Grab a nut. Hard one.
Hard one.
Grab a hard nut.
Grab a hard nut. Yes.
Yeah, we could do that all day. Mm-hmm. No, I love chocolate chip cookies. I have recently kind of moved into like macadamia nut cookies.
Yeah.
As my favorite.
Yeah.
Of the here we go nuts.
Of the nut
In cookies
variety
that you can grab. Yeah. So I love oatmeal cookies, but I like chocolate chip cookies. But macadamia nut cookies are now kind of my favorite.
Okay. Interesting. Cookies. I'm not a big cookie fan, honestly.
I mean, you get the right cookie.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like cookies, people just like cookies. No, there are some cookies you just like you don't want to eat anymore.
Like, why bother? Yeah.
But there are some cookies. If I get one, I'll eat the entire bag of cookies. Yeah.
When I really do crave a cookie, I make cookies at the house, and I make peanut butter caramel cookies.
Those are good. Christmas time, if you get me a box of iced ginger snap cookies and a jar of peanut butter, you won't hear from me
For a week.
for quite a while, and those things will be gone.
I like shortbread around the holidays.
Those are awesome. Yeah, okay. I mentioned this a few weeks ago, I think, but I worked for a theater company, and a girl would make every Christmas would make shortbread cookies.
Yeah,
she would give them out. It might have been the best thing I've ever put in my mouth, ever, period. No matter what.
Did she put something in her mouth, too?
I don't know.
I mean, of yours?
Of mine? I don't know.
You don't know? You weren't there?
I hope not.
All right. Sorry. I tried to go somewhere with that. It didn't work.
No.
So the 5th, which I assume is Thursday.
Okay.
Is,
did you do Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday was National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So Thursday is National Underwear Day, continuing the theme.
Okay. Underwear Day.
Have you seen those commercials for the kind of underwear that you like where you got the little ball pocket, the testicle pocket?
I don't even know what that means. What do you mean that I like?
You've talked about it on the podcast before.
No, I said I ordered a pair of those underwear. I'm not necessarily saying I'm like that, but it didn't really have the ball pocket, I guess. I mean,
one of our listeners got some and he likes them. I won't tell you who.
They're good. They separate
things.
They separate the meat from the veg, so to speak.
Exactly.
The stones from the sticks, or whatever you call them.
There's some commercials out right now about those types of underwear that are just ridiculously silly. Because how else are you going to talk about something like that on national television?
Yeah.
So if you see those commercials, they're funny. I don't have cable, so I don't get to see commercials a lot. I just saw them here at your house. It's also National Oyster Day. Do you like oysters?
I haven't had oysters in years. I couldn't even tell you if I like them.
When you did eat them, how did you eat them?
Rarely.
Okay.
I can remember having a few, but I just don't remember much. And yeah, it's not a dish I've had too much of.
So I like them raw.
Yeah, I don't understand that. This is like going.
No, it's not. Not really.
It is.
It's just the flavor of the sea in your mouth.
Okay.
But I like to also add some horseradish and some,
No.
hot sauce. There, but no.
Okay.
Is that it? No, horseradish and lemon. Horseradish and lemon, because the horseradish is the hot part. So you put some horseradish on there and you throw some lemon on and you just suck it back.
I can see how the horseradish would be good. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Although I could just eat a bowl of horseradish. With just, It's okay. Moving on to Friday. You're going to like this one. International Beer Day.
Nice.
That's this Friday. And you're having an event this Friday.
Yeah, we're having our first event at the gallery, and there will be beer there.
There will be beer there.
I think so.
Exactly. Lots of different kinds of beer.
Yeah, I think we're going to take the beer from our live beer review
that we
have left over and just serve them to people.
Just let you drink them.
Hi, you want any of this?
This kind of beer? We've got 2 of these kinds of beers. Yeah.
And a lot of wine.
Lots of wine. Yeah, I think your wife bought out the shop.
Yeah, and shrimp cocktail. I think she's got a bunch of other kind of like hors d'oeuvres and stuff.
Oh, I can't wait.
I think it's gonna be good.
It's going to be from 6 to 8.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So Saturday is mead day.
Yeah. Okay.
A little sweet for your taste, huh?
Yeah, I've had some that I liked. Okay, I'd rather have it in the fall. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think the kind that I like the most is called, and I could be wrong, Doug would know, unicorn's blood.
Okay.
I think that's what it's called. They carry it at the Porter, which I miss. I was thinking about the Porter the other day.
Yeah, they've changed it around.
Oh, have they?
They've changed so much. I mean, the beer selection is probably okay, but the food they changed around, and it doesn't match up with me anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sunday, last day of the week, National Sleep Under the Stars Day.
Oh, isn't that nice?
I like to sleep under the stars as long as there aren't any bugs and it's not hot.
Well, technically, I sleep under the stars every night.
We all do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, just being able to see the stars is fun.
Right.
I'll just go with a skylight because I just don't like to sleep outside anymore. I'm too old for that shit.
Is that it?
That's it. Those are the
Awesome.
days. The weekends, It was Sunday. So, yes.
I want to talk about something I have a concern about, and I don't know what to do about it.
What's up?
So, I got a new dog.
Yeah.
Lewis, he's been with us for 3 months, almost exactly 3 months. Lewis had a little bit of, I would say, behavioral problems.
Yeah.
Really kind of, I don't even know if you'd say psychological problems, but he had a lot of anxiety.
Yes.
He was kind of unpredictable. He bit my wife.
He bit me.
He bit you. He was a biter. He still kind of is a little bit of a biter. Not as much anymore. He's kind of gotten out of that.
But he's very mouthy.
Yeah. But Lewis doesn't like me.
At all?
Yeah.
He used to love you.
He used to love me. I don't know what happened. And that's what I can't figure out. So for 2 months,
Yeah.
we were buddies. He would
Yeah.
come up, he would play with me. I would scratch his head, I would scratch his chin, I would scratch his butt. He loves the butt scratches. We would walk around, and he would walk next to me. I would play with him, I would pet him, I walk him every day.
Yeah.
And it was just like I was his buddy,
Uh-huh.
and my wife kind of not.
A little iffy.
And so he would be sitting on the couch. I would come up and sit on the couch next to him. He would start jumping up and playing and just, he liked it. I don't know what happened, but like a month ago, he just started acting like that I was the person who abused him.
Oh my goodness.
He cowers anytime that I'm around. He just like, I feel like he's gonna bite me sometimes.
Yeah.
But he gets really mopey and he won't interact with me at all. If I come up to him and talk to him, I give him treats.
Yeah.
Sometimes he won't eat the treats. He acts like I put poison in it.
Oh my gosh.
It's really bad.
That is bad.
So I'm gonna give you an example of something that happened today.
Okay.
I actually videotaped it or video recorded it, not taped, on my phone. Part of it. Because now my wife knows this is going on and she can't understand it either.
Yeah.
So what's happened is he's gone to her like she's his best buddy now.
Yeah.
He loves her. He comes home. He celebrates when she comes home. He jumps up and down. He does tricks. He plays with her. She chases him around the house. He loves to be chased.
That's so weird.
It's his new thing.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not new, but he loves to be chased. So maybe that's what it is, that
She's playing the game he wants to play.
that's something he really likes. I don't know, but it's just something he enjoys. So when she comes home at the after work, he celebrates. He's waiting by the door for her.
Yeah.
I'm there all day with him, and he's acting like that I'm beating him or something. It's
So
insane.
weird.
So here, this is what happened today. So he used to be really, really food oriented. So I feed him in the morning. My wife feeds him at night. A lot of times when it's like she will go to work. He will stay in the bedroom. He won't come out of the bedroom. I will give him his breakfast. Keely eats hers. He won't come out of the bedroom to eat.
That is weird.
Hours he won't come and eat. I have to like come in with like I'm going to take his leash and get. And I don't know if that is like he used to get beat or something, but he will run out of the bedroom if I bring the leash.
If you come
in
in with a leash.
Yeah. And then he'll go kind of like stay on the couch. So the other day he just didn't eat all morning because
he didn't want to come out.
No, I mean he came and he laid on the couch, but he wouldn't go eat. And I don't understand it.
That is very odd.
So sometimes I will bring treats. He won't eat the treats that I give him.
But
it's like just because I'm giving it to him, he won't eat the treats.
But if your wife gave it to him, he would?
He loves it.
So
this happened today.
Okay.
And I swear I'm not exaggerating.
Okay.
This happened. So I was eating a pretzel.
Uh-huh.
I dropped it on the floor.
Uh-huh.
He loves pretzels.
Okay.
So I thought, I'll get Lewis to eat the pretzel. Mm-hmm. So it was on the floor. Keely come running in. She's not a big snack dog.
No.
So she saw the pretzel. She decided that's not for me, and she walked away.
Right.
So I called Lewis. I was like, Lewis, come on, get your pretzel, buddy. And he wouldn't come in the kitchen, and that's not that unusual. But I kept trying. He wouldn't come in. So he's laying on the couch. Mm-hmm. So I pick up the pretzel. I just think, okay, I'm going to take it in there.
Just give it to him. Yeah.
So I walk in. I sit on the couch. I say, Lewis, you want a pretzel? And I open up my hand, and the pretzel's in my hand.
Uh-huh.
He looks at it, and he just won't do anything. Now, normally he would devour that thing immediately.
Right.
It's like a shark.
Right.
He just looks at my hand. He won't do anything. And I kind of put it closer to him, and he gets really close, and he puts his nose on it, and then he just slowly backs up like it's a trap or something.
That is so strange.
I'm like, Lewis, come on, you can have the pretzel, bud. Come on, just have it. He won't. And the whole time he's moving really slow, like I'm trying to kill him.
Like a cat who's concerned or worried.
Or like I'm threatening him in some way. And there's so many times I just feel like he's going to bite me because he just has that look on his face,
Like he's so scared that he might lash out.
Yeah, he cowers. He's like in the corner cowering. So I kept trying to get him to eat the pretzel. I was like, come on, eat the pretzel. He won't. So I thought, all right, I'm going to just put it in front of him and let him eat it. So I laid the pretzel down, and he just looks at it. He won't touch it. It's laying in front of him. I'm not doing anything.
You're not anywhere near it.
All he has to do is come. So he puts his nose down, and he touches the pretzel with his nose, but he won't eat it.
That is the oddest thing.
So I was like, screw it. I'm not going to mess with it. All right. So I get up. I walk across the living room. I sit in my chair. Mm-hmm. He stays on the couch, and he's looking at me with this pretzel next to him. And I thought, well, he can eat it now because I'm not sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
He puts his head down. He won't touch the pretzel. Puts his head down right next to the pretzel, and then just like he's going to go to sleep. And then he turns his head over.
Looks at the pretzel.
No. He a couple
like
times,
away from the pretzel.
Yeah, away and just sleeping. And a couple times he looks at it, and I think, okay, he's going to finally eat it, and he doesn't. Okay.
I am so confused.
Me too. So this goes on, and I just think this is so stupid. It's just so dramatic.
Yeah.
I hear my wife drive up. Mm-hmm. Her car comes, and he loves when she shows up. Mm-hmm. So her car drives up. He jumps up. He runs to the door. He turns around, goes back to the couch, picks up the pretzel, takes it back to the door. He immediately stands there and eats the pretzel at the door.
Because she's home.
She's home.
That is odd. I mean, that is really odd behavior.
There's just weird stuff going on. It's like suddenly I'm his enemy and we cannot figure out what happened. I haven't done anything to him. In fact, I give him treats all day long. I walk him every day. I'm nice to him. I talk to him.
And you've never, like in the middle of the night or something, yelled at him for barking?
Nope.
That's what
I've never yelled at him for anything.
So weird.
It's just like he made the decision that I'm not going to like that guy.
But he used to.
He totally did for 2 months. And why he made the decision and for what reason, I don't know.
That is very odd.
But now my dog doesn't like me for
I'm sorry.
some mysterious reason.
Now I understand that you have him you're going to have him going to some training.
My wife just signed him up for some training. She wants for him to learn to sit.
Yeah.
He won't sit. His worst habit is he barks at the top of his scale.
It's a very sharp sound.
At 3 a.m. He doesn't have a quiet bark. Mm-mm. And he'll come in just to talk to us, and it just barks really loud and wakes us up. So that's the worst. I think his worst habit.
Yeah.
But he's definitely anxiety ridden. We think he's been abused in the past, so I understand all that kind of stuff. But you would feel like he would be progressing out of that. But I feel like he's regressing, and I don't know. I think maybe he's projecting his past abuse onto me. Maybe I look like the person who did it. I don't know. But suddenly, for two months, I was the cool guy, and now I'm the guy that he hates.
So weird. When's the last time that you spoke to the vet about it?
I don't know that we've talked about a vet too much about it.
Oh, okay.
I think it's like an animal behaviorist we need to go to.
Yeah, for sure. Well, good luck with that, because I know that sucks.
Yeah,
to have an animal in your house that doesn't even want to be with you
for no reason. And here's the other thing: a lot of times when my wife is home, he'll come over and act like we're
Your
friends.
buddies.
Yeah, just because she's here.
Yeah,
and it's almost just like, I don't know. It's just like when she's gone, it's just like, this is the way I really feel about you.
It's so weird, because he comes up to me.
Yeah,
and he
does
bit me.
not act like the way he acts to you. He does not act like that to me. He used to come over and let me scratch, and he'd play, and he was great personality.
I've seen
and
it.
Now, not at all. In fact, a lot of times, like today, we were in the kitchen, and my wife was talking to him, and he was all happy. And then I said, "Hey, Lewis," and he puts his head down and then just walks away really slow.
Yeah, there's definitely some past there, I think.
I don't know what's going on.
I think that's weird. I'm sorry. I hope it works out. I do.
I feel bad about it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean,
he's a
that
great
sucks.
dog. I want, we kind of felt like by now he would kind of be, coming around, and he would be like our buddy and stuff. But
you never know, though. If you don't know the past history of your dog, then you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And I think that you should probably work with, like you said, an animal behaviorist.
Well, maybe when we take him for training, we're going to teach him to sit and some other things, and he needs to. He's not as aggressive anymore, but he does have a little bit of that. And just a few little things needs to kind of take place, and maybe that's something we can look at. I'm going to have to be there for some of the training, so maybe that'll help.
Maybe it will.
I don't know.
Yeah, you should definitely be the one rewarding him, telling him he's doing a good job, stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, so changing topics, I got a question for you now. You know a little bit about me, and I know if I ask you this question, you probably know.
I'm very hot right now. I'm sorry.
Why?
I don't know. It's just really hot in here.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. You continue your thought.
Do you think I have too many crushes?
Is there such a thing?
I don't know.
I don't think you have too many crushes.
Okay.
Because I know that you've told people. I mean, you've told me about 100 women that.
Totally.
Yeah,
and that's the thing.
least.
I get a lot of crushes, and my wife said something about that the other day. It's like, wow, you've had a lot of crushes, like throughout my life. Throughout my life. So like I'll be talking to my wife about something, and I'll be like, she'll talk about like Valerie Bertinelli.
Yeah.
And like, oh man, I had a crush on her forever. So it's like that. Like all these usually celebrities or whatever, and I would just be like, oh man, I used to have a big crush on her.
Yeah.
Like Paul Abdul or whatever.
Yeah.
And she was like, wow, you had a crush on everybody.
Pretty much.
And I started thinking about it. It's like, wow, I think I did. I've always been kind of a crush person, and not just celebrities, but people I know. Like when I was in school, I used to have crushes on these girls I was just like see at a distance. And it would just be like, I crushed on her for like 2 years. Or
yeah,
like
but you
that.
never walked up and said anything.
No, never did. And I just wonder how unusual that is. It's like, are you a crush person? Do you have a lot of crushes, do you think?
So I don't really have a lot of crushes, and that's I crush on people that I get to know and like.
Yeah.
That's how I crush on people.
See, like, so I don't know what you think of when you have a crush, but like for me, it's not a sexual thing. It's not like I don't have a crush on a woman and it's like, I want to get her in bed,
Right,
or I want to
right.
have sex with her, or see her naked, or whatever. It's totally different. And then I wonder how close crushes are to obsessions.
Yeah.
Like there are people who are like stalkers.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like maybe a crush that's gone wrong.
Yeah.
But where's one okay and one's not okay?
I think it depends on the actions you're taking in regard to how you feel. So if you have a crush on somebody and you start sending them messages, like excessively, and they're giving you signals either by not answering you or by saying, "Please leave me alone," and then you continue, that's obsession.
Well, I think too So if someone if you're like, oh well, they kind of have a crush on me, I know that.
Yeah.
But if then their responses are unusual,
Yeah.
not proportional to what they should be,
Right.
then I think there's potential for danger.
Yeah. It's as soon as you sense danger, it's probably because it's dangerous.
That's something I had experience with on my end, where that had happened with someone, and there was someone had a response that was not normal, and I had to be like, back off.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That was a little bit frightening. This person,
I didn't really find it frightening. It was just like, I kind of knew, and then I was just like, this is not your business.
Yeah.
Now, if the person had kept on and then like hunted me down, maybe then I would get a little frightened. But
yeah.
I don't think it went that far.
Well, good. I don't think I've ever had anybody really crush on me that hard or like obsess about me or anything like that. Thank goodness.
But
I've done it.
But that's the thing. A lot of times, crushes are not known.
Right.
So, what do you think? What do you think that is? Why do you think that I'm a person who has like probably a disproportional amount of crushes to other people?
Define your crush.
Well, I don't know how to define. I mean, you know what a crush is, right?
I mean, if I'm crushing on somebody, it's because I want to get to know them better and I want to be in their life.
Okay.
If you're crushing on somebody, you just think they're cute.
Yeah, it's kind of like I would like to be in. I don't even know if that's true. It's almost like I would like to be in a romantic situation or relationship with that person, but it's always, especially if it's a celebrity, there's no chance you're not really working toward that.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
I don't know. I honestly don't have an answer for you.
You intensely think they're cute. You have feelings that are, I don't know. I mean, I have crushed on people before, and I'll be honest with you, I have had a celebrity crush that was a little obsessive. Okay.
Now, I didn't do anything dangerous or take any action that would be considered dangerous. Like,
Right.
I didn't reach out to this person. I didn't, anything like that. But I would watch movies with this person in them all day long.
For that.
I would look them up online just to see photos of them. I was dreaming about them.
Yeah.
They were showing up in my dreams. It was a little obsessive, if you ask me. And then I think I found something else to obsess about, because I do have an obsessive personality.
Yeah. So that's one of the things I was going to discuss. Because I started thinking about it, and I was just like, is this healthy? What does this mean? Why am I the kind of person, and I'm not necessarily now, even though I would say even now I would be the kind of person, like now it's kind of like almost like internet people.
Yeah.
It's like people, a lot of times it's like people I'm following on the internet or something. It's just like I have an intense interest in that person. And maybe that's a really good description of my crushes, what I would call. It's like an intense interest in their lives or them as a person.
I've seen you do it. I've seen you find somebody online, one of the people that you follow for whatever reason, or you found somebody to follow, and then you just you do this weird research thing where you just start. It's not like internet stalking, because you're not like all up in their DMs or anything, but you are trying to learn about them. You're Wikipediaing them. You're looking at their Facebook page. You're doing this, doing that, just to see if you can learn as much as you can about this person.
You find out get information about it. And sometimes it disappears. It's like, okay, I'm not interested in that person anymore.
Yeah.
Or at least not in the same way. But I started looking it up, and I was just like seeing if there was any kind of insight into the psychological reasons for this. And I found out a few little things. So I found out that crushes, they're part of your limbic brain, which is the same part of your brain that we share with animals.
Yep.
But we have a cortex, and the cortex is the part that kind of controls the limbic.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what a dog or a chimp or a gorilla doesn't have.
Mm-hmm.
So whereas a human being could have a feeling for a person, in some ways kind of sexual, almost like a crush feeling,
Mm-hmm.
the cortex would kind of come in between and say, don't do anything about this.
Right.
So you still have the feeling, but you're not going to do anything about it. Whereas a dog has the feeling and just immediately does something about
Goes
it, even
for
if
it.
it's your leg.
Yeah.
But the cortex is the thing that keeps you from acting upon it. But it's pretty much all about dopamine.
Mm-hmm.
So dopamine being the what is it? A chemical? It's just basically
It's a neurotransmitter.
yeah, that makes you feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And so definitely part of sex. Any kind of addiction,
Mm-hmm.
drugs,
Mm-hmm. Chocolate.
yeah, is the dopamine thing. But you get that, you can get that. Well, you get it in sex,
Mm-hmm.
but you can also get it with crushes, and that's why a lot of people have crushes. So,
Yep.
and I don't know that this is true, but it could be that I'm just kind of a dopamine addict, that I
could be
have
very
crushes
true.
over and over and over for that dopamine rush.
That could be very true.
And so I recognized in me a few years ago that I really, really, really enjoyed the initial states of a relationship more than the later states. And that's because dopamine.
Dopamine. It's the love
Yeah.
chemical. It's what makes you feel like you're in love.
Yeah. You're getting those feelings. And then, so this is something, and there's a lot of stuff here that I found really interesting. So this doctor was like, crushes are a way for us to remain in the state where we don't have to take action.
Mm-hmm.
That is me
Yes. That is you.
in a lot of ways. And then, hold on. They allow us to live in the fantasy world and to experiment with the idea of love being more perfect and less messy than it actually is in reality.
Mm-hmm.
That totally is my life. And they allow us to fantasize about not only what this person could be like in a relationship or what the ideal relationship would be like, but also that we could be like what we could be like in an ideal relationship without our own flaws. So it's like being in a relationship and not having all of the crap.
Exactly.
It's just fantasy. You don't have to have all of the stuff. You don't have to worry about doing the stuff. You don't have to worry about interacting. You could get the dopamine rush and not have all of the crap.
You can have the perfect romantic relationship all up in your head. You can get all of the dopamine that comes with that. And then you crash because it's not actually happening.
Yeah.
But even if it were actually happening, it wouldn't be as perfect as it is in your fantasy.
But that's kind of, I mean, I think a lot of times I've sort of lived, especially growing up, I sort of lived a fantasy life. And I think that, so I read one time about how, like, these teen magazines, like when I was growing up, it was Teen Beat, Tiger
Right.
Beat. I don't know what they are now.
Me either.
But they appeal to young 8, I guess, to 13-year-old girls, and sometimes more than that. And it's, back when I was a kid, and this is really going to date me, it was Donny Osmond and who were all the people that were in it? Even Michael Jackson, I guess. Leif Garrett. Leif Garrett. But these were like, so girls would buy, and they were aimed at teenage girls.
Yes.
And they would buy these magazines and put them all over the wall. And so I read one time about how a lot of teenage girls, so they're really, really involved in crushes because they can have a relationship without all the danger of a relationship. They're not old enough to have a relationship.
Right.
And they don't have to have all the responsibility and all that stuff. But they can be Justin Bieber. He's kind of gone now. He's married. But
Yeah.
I don't know who the kid is now.
I
One
don't
of the
either.
BTS guys. But you can be in a relationship but yet not be.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times that when I was growing up anyway, that's the way it was with me.
The problem is that these magazines understand what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they're exploiting it like crazy. And they're putting these ideals of these perfect relationships into these little girls' minds. And these little girls are coming out a little bit disappointed when they do actually get into a relationship.
Well, I think it translates and or transfers over to reality in that when you go to school and you see this guy, then you have a crush on that person,
on a physical person,
and you don't do anything about it because it's almost like the magazine, and then you think they're going to be perfect, and so maybe it sets up this kind of false thing. Anyway, I don't know, but there's actually some, there was a 2008 study that showed that there was actually some benefits of crushes. So this study found out that having a crush or a faux relationship, as they called it, could actually help improve your self-esteem in a way that a real romantic relationship can't do.
Really?
Yeah. And in 2015, a study of 160 women, I don't know why they just do women, in committed relationships, found that the majority, they reported that their crushes didn't impact their relationship with their significant other and actually led them to desire their partner more when they had a crush.
Now,
I don't know. I feel like when you're having a crush on somebody in the office, if you're married, that's starting to push.
You're pushing boundaries there.
That's when you got to be careful.
Yeah, but one thing that I personally experienced this myself, and I don't think that it's necessarily all that unhealthy. I think if it became an all the time thing, it could be considered unhealthy. But like, I've had a crush on someone while I was married, someone real. What are you looking for? A pen? You just had it in your hand.
I don't know what happened to it.
So I've had a crush on a real person whilst I was married, and ended up, it's not a pen, ended up actually fantasizing about, sorry, we were looking for a pen, so I'm sorry if I was, a little off there. But so yes, had a crush on somebody, was married, actually fantasized about that person whilst having sex with my husband.
Oh.
Fantasized I was having sex with the other person. I've done that. Now, it wasn't, I don't think that a fantasy in your head is going to ruin your marriage.
No, in fact, I think fantasies should always be a part of your life no matter what. It's like masturbation. It's your own thing.
Yep.
As long as it doesn't leave your head, as long as I think you should be able to think whatever you want. You should be, and a lot of times they overlap. You fantasize while you're masturbating or whatever, and I feel like that's your domain, and it's not, to me anyway. Some people disagree. I don't see that in any way as anything that's a betrayal
or threatening.
No, I feel like that's your business.
Yep.
If you're doing it while you're having sex, you're starting to push a boundary there.
I think that if you were to do it every time you had sex with your husband or wife, and you were thinking about somebody else, while you were romantic with your spouse or partner, if you were doing it all the time, I could see how that would get dangerous fast.
Yeah.
But once in a great while, it's not the end of the world. I don't think, as long as you can control it and you don't you recognize what you're doing, and we talked about it, my husband and I. We spoke about it, and he told me that he had done the same in the past. It's not, and it doesn't bother me. Like, you gotta, if one partner wants to have sex and the other one, I suppose I could go for some sex, in order for that person to get a little more aroused, sometimes a fantasy life is a good thing.
Yeah.
So I don't see it as a problem.
One of the things that I read when I was doing this research is it said that women will become more. So a lot of times women will dress sexier during their time when they're the most fertile. It's just like, and sometimes they don't even know they're doing it. They'll be more kind of flirty at work, and they'll dress more sexy at work, and it's almost like they're trying to attract people at work, even if they're not really necessarily trying to do anything about it.
That's the limbic system back in play now,
Yeah.
because what's happening is basically she's in heat. And I hate to put it that way.
Well, it's figured. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't, call a woman who's ovulating or menstruating or in that point in her cycle where she could get pregnant. I don't necessarily like to call that heat.
Well, it's a nature thing
it's
that
a
you don't necessarily have control over.
Right.
I mean,
So you're-
it might be.
Like dogs stick their butts up in other dogs' faces, and cats do it a lot if they're in heat,
Yeah.
and they roll around on the floor and they stick their butt in the other cat's face and like, here it is, that kind of thing, you
Yeah.
know. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
You're just showing it off. You're like, hey, I'm ready.
But you don't even know. And they were talking about just like sometimes, just in the how you talk to someone, you don't even know you're doing it. But it's just a natural thing. So anyway, I don't know. I think crushes are interesting. I don't know. I've asked myself many times why over the years I've had so many of them, and I do feel like that it's part of it is just they're it's like being in you do get a dose of dopamine like being in a relationship without all of the messiness of a relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
And Paula Abdul's hot, so I could be in a relationship with Paula Abdul and then Shania Twain, and then I can have all of these people. I've actually had crushes on dudes, and totally non-sexual crushes.
Intense interest, like you said earlier.
I mean, I remember two specific instances when I was in college of these guys that I saw kind of like, I think I might have had a class with him or something, or I would just see him passing and I would just be like, that guy is one of the coolest looking dudes, or he just seems cool. I wished he was my friend.
I want to get to know him.
He just and every time I would see the person, I'd be like, look at that guy, he's just cool.
Yeah.
And then in both cases, they became really good friends of mine.
Interesting.
And it started off as just me look from a distance, just thinking they were cool or funny or whatever. It's just like, I would really like to get to know that person.
So there was some sort of chemical attraction.
Yeah.
That you saw something in that person that you thought would go well with your personality.
Yeah.
And you thought, we might have fun together. I would like to be that person's friend.
Yeah, my wife was telling me that one of her best friends, she would see this person and she just thought that person's cool, and she was like, one time she was in the bathroom or something washing her hands and the other person was in the restroom too, and she was just like, I want you to be my friend. And the person was just like, okay.
Yeah.
And they became friends, and now they're still friends and they hang out, and it's one of her really good friends.
So I did that with a Facebook friend that I had friended a few years prior to actually just hitting her up. And I was like, you know what? We're constantly, liking each other's photos and commenting, and, your comments are funny and they make me laugh and they're interesting. And can we be friends?
Yeah.
I want to be friends. And she's like, hell yeah, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
And we're still friends.
Yeah.
We've never met in person.
Right.
I didn't know her when I became friends with her on Facebook. She was somebody I had seen in a movie, and I thought she was interesting, and I looked her up a little bit and was like, oh, look, she has Facebook, so I'll friend her. And then, boom, like 3 years later, I was like, I like this chick. She's kind of
I have so many Facebook people that I've met on social media that I've never met in person, but I would consider them one of my best friends, or some of my best friends.
You have some really good conversations, some really good, back and forth.
A lot in common.
Yeah.
And you would hang out if you were next door neighbors or
Absolutely.
in the same city. Sure.
Yeah. And I know that she and I would hang out a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, I don't think there's anything wrong with having an intense interest in somebody. You have a very analytical brain, whether you like it or not, where you like to research and you like to, dig down.
But I'm also high on feeling. I'm a feeling person.
You're very feeling.
So a lot of times I come across somebody, I just feel like this person, I belong with this person.
I'm exactly the same way on the Myers-Briggs.
I don't know why.
Test. I'm an INFP, and
me too.
That's how we met.
Yep.
So
we just felt it.
We felt it.
All right. Well, we should wind this down. I do want to talk about real quick our Halloween event. So we're going to be having a Halloween event. We haven't named. I think I have a date for it. We need to talk about that today. But we're going to be doing a Halloween event at the gallery here in Atlanta. So. It's going to be called the Art of the Dead. It's going to be a storytelling event that centers around your stories, listener, your stories. We would like for you to write stories with. Now, listen, if you can be in the Atlanta area during this time, you can read the stories potentially with us. Potentially, if you want to, if you're good. I mean, there's so much.
There'll be an audition.
You can just let us do it, whatever. But at any rate, you could sit there and listen to it. We're going to be doing it in costume. There'll probably be some snacks. There'll probably be some brew. It'll just be fun.
It will be fun. And I can't wait to make like Halloween-y hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah.
Because I see them every year on, when you're scrolling through Instagram or whatever, and you see them every year and you're like, oh man, it's too late to go get all those ingredients and do them. I've saved them this year. I'm going to be prepared.
Yeah.
I'm going to make yummies. And then we'll have, drinks and whatnot. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Everybody's welcome to come, or you can listen. We will record it, and it will be an episode. But being live, this will be one of our very first live events. We've done a couple over the years, and this will be one of the few. So we would like for people to come out if you can. But the main thing is we need your stories. So please start thinking of some ideas. The theme is zombies coming back from the dead. It's the art of the dead. So start writing, and you could be a part of the...
Have we heard from anybody yet?
No. Here's what happens. Everybody thinks, I got plenty of time. And the next thing you know, it's September 30th or whatever, and the deadline is the next day.
Yep.
And then it's like, I don't have time this year. So start now.
Because it's the beginning of August, people.
Yeah. We are going to make the deadline very, very early October, so we have enough time to put it all together. So please, that's why I'm mentioning it. Please start working on a story for us.
Please and thank you.
Other than that, you can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow us on Instagram.
Yeah.
And listen to the shows on YouTube if you want. But we prefer that you subscribe and download, and then give us a little review. Tell everybody what you think of the podcast.
Yeah. Whatever your rating is, whether it be 1 star, 5 star, no star. I don't even think you can do no star. Please don't do no star.
Don't do no star.
If it's a no star, just stop listening.
And we're coming up on episode 200. When we do episode 200, we're going to kind of sort of retool the show. We're going to polish it. Polish it. We're going to polish it. No, it's not a polish it. It's our podcast. We're going to clean it up. We're going to make it better than it was before.
We're going to spit shine it.
Yeah, we're going to add some features. We're going to polish some features, and we're going to just make a better show.
I think so. I think it's going to be fun. I'm interested to get started on that project.
Yeah, we need to do that now, too.
Yeah.
But anyway, we would like to hear from you. thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. Drop us a line. Tell us what you think of the show. Ask us questions. Tell us about your dogs.
We would love to hear about your puppies. Right now, you're going to hear about this beer and what we think of it.
Yeah. Okay. So, what do you think?
You and I
spraying everywhere.
You are just spitting all over. I said spit shine the show, not the desk.
Sorry.
Ew.
Okay.
We've drank about the same amount of the beer here, and I see that there is actually still a little carbonation left in it.
Yeah.
Which I know that you like.
I do.
It is a sour. It does hit you in the back of the jaw, like you bit into a lemon. I kind of like that part. I mean, as you know, I like sours. I don't know that I necessarily recognize it as lemon.
I kind of do, but there's more to it than the lemon. It's almost like two tastes at once to me.
And you know what it is? I read it earlier on the can, and you were like, "What? What is that?" This beer is actually a sour ale with Meyer lemon, vanilla bean, and milk sugar.
Okay.
So I wonder if that vanilla flavor is what you're tasting.
So let me tell you what I think. I don't like the smell of this beer at all. I hate it.
Interesting.
And so if I was ranking it on the smell, I would just say no. But it's so different from the other sours we've had. First of all, it's not as sour. It's sour, but it's not that intense sour that just knocks you down. But it has a little bit of lemon taste to it, and it's actually a complex taste.
It is.
It's not just straight out sour. That's all you get. there's a lot of stuff. Every time I take a sip, there's a lot of flavors working along in there.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's fun. I like it. It's not something I would drink with food.
No.
But it's a interesting flavor, just to kind of, I don't know, just it's a party in your mouth.
It's a outside on a hot day beer.
Kind of, yeah. Maybe if it's ice cold, sure.
If it's ice cold, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you'll want some water because you say it's not an intense sour.
No.
My teeth hurt. That's how sour it is.
I can kind of taste the lemony. It also is a little bit salty. It's got a salt taste to it, kind of like salt water.
Interesting.
And maybe that's how they're duplicating the lemon taste. I don't know, but it's just overall it's a different kind of taste, and I like. It's complex enough to keep me interested. So
What are you going to rate it?
I'm going to rate it a 3.5.
Interesting. I'm going to give it a 3.
You're giving it a 3.
Yeah.
You're always a little harder on the beers than I am. But
You know what though? It's funny that you should say that because I'm also when it comes to things like annual reviews and stuff like that I have to do at work. I'm a little harsh on those too.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be. I'm just trying to be as honest as I can.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, and a 3
Well, I mean,
is
it's your-
not a bad.
No, it's your opinion. That's
Yeah.
fine. I just like it because it's fun. It's it's different, and so I don't know. It's better than I thought it was going to be, and it's different. It's not overly lemony, but yeah, I get the lemon experience, so it is kind of fun.
It meets expectations.
And more.
So for you, it exceeds expectations.
Somewhat, sure.
Okay.
All right, we have a lot of stuff coming up. It's September. We're coming into fall. October is always very, very busy.
Yay!
So we'll have a lot to talk about. I know COVID is starting to come back, which is not cool, but we hope you will come back. We would like for you to listen to the show more and give us your opinion, but we do always like it when you're here. So we will be here every Monday, as we have been for many years. And, yeah, that's it.
We'll talk to you later.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
This is a Violet Jester Media podcast.